XRP, Solana, Polkadot, HBAR, and many, many more are in the race to get approved for spot ETFs in the USA. Unfortunately, both Hedera and Polkadot's ETFs have been delayed by the SEC. But that didn't stop a Bloomberg analyst from calling a crypto ETF summer. And again, it might not happen, who knows, but we do know that the SEC is set to approve or deny not deny, but delay these ETFs Q3, Q4 from July to October. And just because they're being delayed doesn't mean they're being denied. In addition to that, Michael Saylor came out and said there's not going to be any Bitcoin bear market again. If there's not going to be any Bitcoin bear market, then that means there's not going to be any crypto bear market. But I digress. That's a little bit too optimistic. Regardless of the market that you're in, there's always going to be some sort of bear market. But I do think that we are in a crypto super cycle. But let's go ahead and cover some of these ETFs and when we can expect them to essentially get approved and the SEC's thought process behind it. First, the Solana ETF. BlackWorks reporting that SEC has asked prospective spot Solana ETF issuers to submit amended S1s within next week. Some people say that this does signal possible approvals. Some people say it does not. And there is this current little battle in the SEC and these crypto ETF issuers that the first to be applied should get approved first. So we'll see how that works because I don't know which ETF is going to get approved first. There's also a total of 7 applicants for the Solana ETF. And some analysts are also saying that this is because the SEC is going to approve Ethereum and Solana staking ETFs would be absolutely insane and very bullish for Ethereum. Well, and Solana too, of course, but I am an Ethereum bag holder. But once we start to see these ETFs get approved, we should have some sort of crazy altcoin season. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And as far as Polkadot and Hedera, the third deadline for these is going to be September 9th, and the final deadline will be November 8th. And again, the Polkadot and Hedera spot ETFs were not denied. They were delayed, and the SEC just wants more comments. So if you want these to get approved, go ahead and write them a letter. And Grayscale did file for the Polkadot ETF and for the HBAR ETFs, Canary and Grayscale. And you all know that Grayscale is an absolute beast in the ETF space. And without Grayscale suing the SEC, we wouldn't have gotten the Bitcoin or Ethereum ETFs way back when. And really quickly, I kind of wanted to talk about treasuries. So treasuries are very different than ETFs, actually not even anywhere in the same realm. But I think it's also important to pay attention to crypto projects or crypto assets that are being added to NASDAQ-based companies' treasuries. Because again, NASDAQ-listed companies, they have shareholders, they have obligations. And the fact that a lot of these companies are starting to heavily invest and pay attention to crypto, that is a positive fundamental aspect for me. And yes, we'll talk about the XRP treasury, but let's go ahead and talk about FET because this one surprised me. So NASDAQ-listed fitness company plans to raise $500 million for FET treasury. And they also plan to integrate Fetch AI's tech into their fitness platform. But basically, they want to raise $500 million and they want to add FET to their treasury. A treasury basically determines how healthy the company is, how much money they have. So the fact that they're taking a big bet on FET like this means that they're immensely bullish. And it's something you should pay attention to if you are interested in FET or you're holding it. And we already know that Vivo Power is going to have a $100 million XRP treasury. And they're also a NASDAQ-listed company. Well, they also plan to deploy $100 million in XRP via the Flare blockchain to generate yield, and XRP will be used through Flare's FSET system, enabling DeFi interactions for non-smart contract tokens. And this yield they generate from investing their own money will be used to invest in more XRP. Sorry about that. But honestly, things are looking very promising for this summer. Especially the fact that Ethereum is doing well price action wise too, because Ethereum has led altcoin season in the past. Goodbye.